Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to Season 3 of Sherlock. Me and Kai Entertainment will be discussing the third season exclusively, and I guess the rest of the show that we've already seen as well, but it's me, and I'm joined by Kyle. Say something, Kyle.
Oh, Sherlock's back, everybody. This is everybody's favorite series, EliteAri. I think I said back by popular demand last time, so I didn't want to reuse the joke.
Yes. I think we got even less views last time. We're at like 50 views or something? I don't know, something ridiculous, but it doesn't matter. We're here anyway to talk about Sherlock.
Maybe you should make a Sherlock scripted video and funnel the viewers in. How about that?
Maybe. I don't know if there's anything I could make a scripted video about for this series.
What do you mean titling these things? It better not be Sherlock Season 3 discussion.
That's exactly what I've been calling them. But don't worry, we got the A/B testing. We can try out some new variations this time. Maybe we'll blow up and get a bunch of views.
Gotta go back and change the other ones too.
But yeah, so let's see. What can we talk about? Last time we had a crazy season with Moriarty being the focus. Moriarty died at the end. Sherlock died at the end. And when
Did you write down all my predictions?
I absolutely did not. But yeah.
I don't remember any of them.
Yes, we'll see. So for context, I have a little bit of an introduction. Okay, this is a season 3 of Sherlock. Came out in 2014. So, oh my god, it's like 11 years old. That's crazy. It came out 2 years after season 2, almost to the day. And it is the highest viewership season of Sherlock out of all 4 seasons.
I saw that.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
Is it on the wiki page?
There's 4 episodes, except one of them was like a little YouTube thing that I don't actually know when that came out, but it definitely came out before the season. I remember watching that on YouTube. Then there's The Empty Hearse, The Sign of 3, and His Last Vow, and that's it. They're all directed by different people. The first episode's written by Mark Gatiss. The second episode is written by all 3 of the writers, which is kind of crazy. And then the third episode is written by the great Stephen Moffat, which I just love so much. He's my favorite.
How come they've all got such funny names, EliteAri?
They're British, okay? I have no idea.
Good point.
Yeah, so Kyle, I don't know. We left off on a cliffhanger. What do you think about this season?
Oh my goodness, he was alive, EliteAri. No, we already knew he was alive.
We did.
Now, EliteAri, the old season 3 here, a very different season to the ones that came before. No longer do we care too much about mysteries. It's now about character, EliteAri. And I bet that H-Bomber Guy video I didn't actually watch the whole thing of was not very happy about this. But I think it was probably pretty cool. I don't know. It was fine.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Well, was it better than the other ones? Do I remember the other ones enough to compare them? I don't exactly know, EliteAri. I can definitely, now that, and you were saying this at the time, now that I just, in my 10 seconds there, I reflected on everything I remember, and I said, that season 1 sure was wacky, and I feel like that's what EliteAri said back then, so I guess I'm indoctrinated into the Sherlock hive mind here, just given all the same talking points. Season 2, remember that last episode? That was very enthralling, EliteAri. But so we'll like the second 2 episodes in this one.
Interesting. Okay. But yes, I should say I have been saying consistently that we should track what you think about the show because it changes a lot as it goes on. I do agree. Like the first season was much more like we're going to try very grounded, very serious kind of things with a little bit of wacky elements like that vampire guy or whatever in the 3rd episode. Season 2 is like, we're going to focus more on like, there's like a Moriarty character and we're more prestigious now. You know, we got more money and more popular and everything. We're doing all the famous stories from Sherlock. Now, season 3 is a lot more going for like the feelings and like the fun.
We don't give a fuck about Sherlock Holmes. What we're here is for the great Sherlock and John Watson. Oh, and their pals.
Absolutely. So it's like
it's our original show now.
It does very much feel like the mysteries are in the background, kind of more so than they were last season and the season before, which is interesting. I don't know what
Sherlock lost its way.
Yeah, I actually don't know what I think about this. I do think I think season 2 is probably my favorite
what do the people
so far.
Think?
I don't know. My understanding is the people think that season 2 is like the best season ever, and then season 3 is like pretty great.
And then season 4 fucking sucks.
Season 4 we'll talk about next season, okay? Or next discussion video, but I don't know, it's interesting.
Season 4 sucks because it's got 4 episodes. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. It's a big change. One other thing that I think is interesting to point out is especially the first episode of this season, but it is a little bit throughout the season. There's a lot more meta, and it's a lot more because obviously there was a big thing at the end of last season. Sherlock died, and there's a whole episode basically which is either pointing out the fact that he died and the people were speculating, like the fans, and it's like making fun of the fans and stuff and kind of playing with the idea that we don't have a resolution yet to it. It just feels like it's very, very meta. Like we just haven't had this type of writing, I guess, in the story before. I don't know how to explain this, but it's just weird and meta. And the empty
It
hearse
is
itself is like an
'cause
entire like just we're just gonna have like a little mystery on the side about this terrorist network, but the majority is just like, how did Sherlock survive? What happened?
oh yeah,
Yeah,
that was they're on a train? How boring.
yeah.
But the rest of it was pretty good. It is interesting. There's like a distinction, I think, in my head between like soft meta and hard meta, where this is like very much soft meta, where it's like making fun, like referencing speculative things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why my brain goes to like Game of Thrones, because I really don't think it ever did this. But like the big speculation was that Jon Snow was coming back. And maybe there was a joke at the beginning about like, oh, he's coming back or something. I don't remember. But I feel like Marvel movies did this quite a bit, maybe between like the big Infinity War movies. What was the other one called, EliteAri? Endgame.
Endgame.
Oh, yeah. Or something like that. Thor was fat. He made some of these jokes or something.
Mm-hmm.
Versus like hard meta, which is more like, I don't know, Fire Punch or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't, because usually I like meta, but this kind of meta annoys me sometimes. But I wasn't annoyed because I really didn't register too much that it was meta. Obviously, I understood that it was meta, but I was like, oh, they're just like super fans. This like makes sense. I
Mm-hmm.
guess the Netflix show, does like this exact same thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably the thing I was looking for, but that's kind of funny. I thought it was fine. I think the explanation ended up being that there was no explanation. Now, me and EliteAri beforehand had a crisis meeting where we both said we watched this episode like 2 weeks ago, both of us, maybe more. So I don't remember, exactly what happened in this episode. He was on fire, and then they were in a train, and the first 20 minutes was really good, and in the restaurant was hilarious, EliteAri. That was a great
Okay,
classic
I
stuff.
was interested in what you
Um,
think about that. Yeah.
but the answer that first question. What was the explanation again? The explanation was there was no explanation, because we started off with a very goofy explanation, and I thought they were trying to be
Mm-hmm.
funny about it, and I was like, oh, I don't really like this. But then it was like obviously fake when he like went in the window and kissed Molly later. Then I was like,
Yes,
well, this is just a
yeah.
fake.
I was curious at what point you would pick up like that it was fake. It is funny watching reaction videos to that episode and people just like that. I think even Shane was like from Blind Wave, for anyone listening right now, he completely bought it and he's like, oh wow, I can't believe it. This is crazy. Oh my god, he's kissing Molly, this is crazy. And then he got revealed it was a thing and he like tricked him. It is funny to like see at what point like people realize.
It's very funny.
Yeah. To me immediately I realized when there's like he's jumping on a bungee cord. Like we didn't see that. You think they just like lie to us like that? Which I guess is possible, but it would have been very frustrating.
Well, sometimes the show has some wacky explanations for things. So I was
I don't
like,
know if
oh,
they've ever
okay,
been
but this
that
is like
wacky.
really wacky.
Yeah.
Like this might be a jump in the shark thing. And then
Yeah.
like when he kissed her, I was like, oh, thank God, the
Yep.
show's not terrible.
Yep.
But I have my first note. I guess I can read it because it is me going through the motions here. I said, very goofy death fake out explanation. Kissing Molly is almost a parody. It was a fake out. I have in exclamation mark.
Yes, absolutely.
Genius I am. And then my next one says 2 years exclamation mark question mark.
Indeed, he has been away for 2 years.
Whole topic.
But yeah, so there's a few explanations. The first one is that one that is, I would say, probably fake. Then we have the second one, which is Sherlock and Moriarty are like kissing and like giggling at each other, and they like throw off like a fake dummy or something off the building. And this is obviously making fun of the Tumblr people who are very, very hardcore shipping Moriarty and Sherlock back in the day. And then we get like an explanation that is probably as close as the truth we're going to get, which is from Sherlock himself, where he's explaining it to Anderson, like how he did it. And in the end, like basically the explanation is, oh, he was working with Mycroft. Basically, he had these code words, but he wasn't expecting Moriarty to kill himself. But when he did, he kind of adapted to it. And they laid out a jumping pad on the floor, and there was like a bunch of actors around, and they knocked John out intentionally so that like they would think that the assassins would think he's like not seeing things. I have no. Basically, he gave this long explanation, and but at the end of it, Anderson is like, but how'd you do this? And this doesn't make sense. And you must be lying. And it leaves doubt in our mind as to whether Sherlock was even telling the truth. And we never really find out. Which is interesting.
Like the meta of that is like, dumb fucking fans, how about it doesn't matter?
Yeah.
It's kind of like the thematic message there a little bit, which is retarded. Like obviously in the Sherlock show, you should have a well thought out way to get out of this that's like satisfying. Now they ended up not doing that, and I'm not really that mad about it. Now is that because I'm not too invested in the show, or because it actually doesn't matter? We'll never know. I could see definitely some negative videos that would cling on to this very much and be very angry about this. A more literal-esque, like a YouTube video essay space or something. I don't know. What to blame my not being mad at it on. There's two possible paths here.
Yeah.
What do you think, EliteAri? You don't care. You're a stupid idiot.
I think that the explanation that Sherlock gives me enough where I'm like, it probably looks something like this. Like, I don't need the details to be exactly the
Yeah.
same. I think I get the gist of it. It's like, like he kind of planned it. He probably did work with Mycroft because Mycroft saved him at the beginning, and he was like from the whatever other country, Serbia or whatever, wherever he was. There's enough to piece together. And obviously, this is actually something I wanted to point out last time, but you didn't pick it up, so I didn't want to say it. But it is it's very clear at the end of last season when he's having the conversation with Moriarty that he's specifically probing him to know if he knows about Molly, because he says like, Moriarty is like, oh, all your friends will die if you don't. And Sherlock is like, oh, Lestrade? It's like, yeah, Lestrade. John? Yeah, John. Mrs. Hudson? Yes. And he like doesn't name anyone else. And it's like, clearly he's trying to see if he knows who Molly is. So clearly Molly is like obviously involved in this plan.
Must have said like, oh, I guess he doesn't think Molly's his friend. Or
yeah, you probably did say that, yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, so it is, I feel like that's like a little hint you're getting is like, oh, Molly's clearly involved getting, I don't know how, but, there's like stuff like that, which gives you enough, I think, to be like, there's like good enough of an explanation, but it is true. There's no real answer here.
Sure. I'm not so mad after all.
Wonderful. Okay, so then we can move on to something pretty important.
But EliteAri.
Yeah.
It turns out that other fella might not be dead either. Isn't that crazy? I must have said that last time.
I think you probably did. Well, yeah.
It is. I'm like very satisfied that they like decided to go a season without him. It's like, oh, okay then. And then he comes back for the last one. That makes a lot of sense. Now, I don't know if there is a hard end to these silly Sherlock things, or they just haven't had the time to film him in the last 10 years or whatever. But, maybe Sherlock dies at the end, and then you can't have any more show EliteAri.
Yeah, but would you believe it if he died? Really? Like, they could bring him back.
No, they could always make the show if they wanted to make the old show, but it would depend. If it was a great ending where everybody was very deeply satisfied, then you wouldn't want to go back on it EliteAri.
You would think that, but also, who knows?
Oh.
Yeah.
Sounded like that had some ominity. That's a word for ominous, but like with an extra bit that made sense for the tense in which my sentence began in.
Yes, indeed. Okay.
I can make words.
Yes, the next stage in this story is John living life without Sherlock. And most importantly, he has a girlfriend, Mary. I need to know, what do you think about Mary, the new character that is a pretty major character?
This is a multifaceted, multi-generational question, EliteAri, because obviously this would have been a great question after I watched the first episode, but not the other ones.
Yep.
Now, this great Mary is very capable. She knows something, and that's not even implying that she's a crazy secret spy like we find out in the third one. But she's always clever and stuff, which was notable. But she was okay. She was funny at the beginning, and her getting dragged around to there like whenever he would punch him, and then they would show up in a different shop, and then he'd punch him again, and they'd show up in a different shop.
Yep.
She was always there saying something funny. She wasn't so sad or dramatic and stuff like that. So she was pretty cool. Now I like Talisa, Robb Stark's wife, the best, just because she was around for one scene and she was Robb Stark's wife. But this girl's pretty good too. Now, I will say, EliteAri, Season 3, the great love season, how can we forget? But at every turn, EliteAri, we were betrayed by love. That's another you reference, EliteAri.
Oh.
Every love, there was some secrets going on, EliteAri, and love just wasn't true and real.
In the you specifically is what you're saying?
No, in this season, EliteAri.
In this season? Oh, yeah, I suppose. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, true. That's a good point.
He wasn't in love. And then the sexy bridesmaid was, but then she wasn't EliteAri. And then John Watson was in love with his wife, EliteAri, but then he wasn't. But then in the end, they kind of were still. And there was another one, I think. Molly was in love, EliteAri, but then she wasn't EliteAri. This was the love season.
Yep, absolutely.
So that's the best part, EliteAri. We love here. We love all the flirting scenes and all the scenes about flirting.
Absolutely.
EliteAri doesn't like those scenes.
I think they're fine. Like, I like them in the show. I do think this is something that's differed from my first viewing of this show versus the second. The first time through, I remember thinking, like, Mary was kind of like, I don't know, she was fine. And I, like, kind of was like, oh, she's, like, getting in the way of, like, the Sherlock, like, Sherlock Watson stuff. And it's, like, fine. I get perfectly serviceable. Now it's, like, I like Mary a lot. She might be my favorite character. It is interesting because it might be like, it's a bit tough because I like her before we find out that she's like an assassin. But the thing is that I know the whole time she's an assassin, so it's kind of a weird feeling of like, I have to like pretend that I don't know yet at this point, and I like her a lot more when I pretend I don't know. It's weird, but it's interesting because she's like, I don't know how to explain it, in that she's just not what I would have expected of like a of a love interest character. I don't know what it is. Like she's weirdly like an equal. She's like weirdly like just like nonchalant about things and like really smart and funny, and it's even just the way that she like reacts to things is kind of like weirdly cute. I don't know how to explain it. It's like
she's like, there's no conflict in like her being around, or like the wacky antics are never like a problem for her, which it has been for like all of his other girlfriends. So it feels like she's like on the team the whole time, even like when you first meet her.
Yeah,
it
actually,
is an interesting dynamic.
That does remind me.
The twist comes after that.
Yes,
but yeah,
I was gonna say the first scene where I'm like, she's really good. Well, actually, there's two things. One, the first time where I thought she was really, really good was when it was the waiter was interrupting them, when it was Sherlock pretending to be the waiter, and clearly both her and Watson knew that like this is an awkward situation, and she kind of like did a weird like grimacing like cringe, but also was like laughing at the same time. I was like, this is like a very real kind of reaction there. That was the first thing, right? And that's a very subtle thing. I don't even know if you remember that, but I like that a lot. But the second scene was when she was at home with Watson. No, I'm calling him Watson, John. And she was basically teasing him for she was like, "Are you gonna go back and see him?" No, it's like, yeah, exactly. Like, are you gonna go back and see him? And it's like, no, I'm going to work. And it's like, I have an actual quote. Let me see. So, are you gonna go see him again? No, I'm gonna work. Then after work, are you gonna go see him again? No. God, 6 months of bristly kisses for me, and his nips turns up, and all of a sudden, I don't shave for Sherlock Holmes. Stuff like that, where I'm like, she's not affected by it, like what you were saying, I guess, at all.
That's very important, EliteAri. He did have a mustache at the beginning. How could I forget?
That is true. Did you like it? Were you like, oh, yay?
And then he did shave it off for Sherlock, because that's his boyfriend. There were lots of gay jokes still, EliteAri. It was very funny.
That is true.
I know, because I have a note that says, a bunch of gays, with an exclamation mark afterwards.
Indeed. All right. What now? I guess my next note is about... I just talked about how great Mary is and how great of an actor she is. Watson is also a really good actor. Martin Freeman, John Watson.
He was pissing me off sometimes. He's always been the one that's pissing me off, being a little cringe sometimes, EliteAri. And, in the train sequence, it was happening again. And then there were other ones. I don't know. I think I have multiple notes where I'm cringing of earnestness, and I have caps locks to express my cringingness. So I hate real emotions and non-sarcasm. And this show does the worst of that, where they are highly sarcastic most of the time, and then they have some times when they're serious. Now, that's the worst. If you're normal and then you get serious sometimes, then I can forgive you, But if you're going to be serious, the acting better be pretty good. And this John Watson sometimes be making me cringe.
Yeah, I think
go ahead with your pro John Watson propaganda.
One thing Martin Freeman is very good at in this show, which is I think one of the only things I've seen him in, is when he gets mad. I think he does a very good job of like he gets quieter the more angry he is, and he's like words don't come out properly and stuff, and he gets choked up and so I like that. I don't know I like the portrayal, I guess. I don't see that often, and I think
he puts his chin to his chest and he looks down and then he looks up and he says, "Don't do that." Did I do a good impression?
I don't think so, but you know what? I get the thing you were going for, but yeah.
That's what's important.
Yes. All right.
Would it be better if I read out my bit by bit notes, perhaps, EliteAri?
Sure thing. Go ahead.
So we already went over 2 years. Didn't Mycroft do something bad last time? EliteAri, I'm confused. This is one of the times when you bring me up to speed. So Mycroft at the end of the last one had his head in his hands and he was very upset about something, but that was never addressed, or I missed it.
At the end of like last season?
He was like very sad. We saw a shot of him where it looked like he had betrayed Sherlock or something, and he put his hand on his head and did something.
Yeah, because that was the whole Moriarty thing, where it's like he gave information to Moriarty, feeding him information so that he would speak, because he would only speak when he was trading information about Sherlock, right?
He put Sherlock in a precarious position, but then he saved him. EliteAri said he had a part in saving him, so that's why we're not mad at Mycroft anymore. What a great explanation.
Exactly. Yes.
Reappearing to everyone's fan service is great. The shadow of the evil Dragon Ball Z. True, we got to see everybody's reaction to the great Sherlock showing up and being alive. What a great show we've got here. Lestrade's one, that was cute. And then there was a Molly one, I'm pretty sure. But she already knew or something.
She did.
And then
Mrs.
There was a
Hudson is like
Mrs. Hudson one, I
screaming.
think
Yeah.
she just screamed.
Yep.
Shut up, EliteAri, I remember this show.
Mhm.
And then John Watson, obviously, got that one. And it was a very long, drawn-out scene, which is very good. It wasn't a quick. They didn't see each other. He didn't drop his coffee, and then we didn't cut to them talking like 10 minutes later. So we missed all those immediate reactions, like that piece of shit show Dragon Ball Z or something would have done. And yeah, you remember my Dragon Ball Z talking point about this, EliteAri, or should I elaborate?
Let me think. So you're thinking about for some reason Videl is coming to mind, but I have no idea what you're actually talking about.
You're a genius, EliteAri. You just listen so much when I speak.
Yeah.
It is true. Even though the chief example I always bring up of this is the Videl thing, but it really doesn't. It's not the same. The Videl thing is Videl, like, we build up the whole time that Videl thinks Mr. Satan killed whatever cell, and then she like figures out that Gohan probably did it off screen, and then because it like the Majin Blue plot is happening, it's such a little thing. There's no focus given to it, and it pisses me off because obviously that's the only thing we care about in DBZ is Videl. In this great Boo arc, we spent 20 of the greatest episodes of all time in high school flirting, and she's figured it all out. Oh, EliteAri, I'm gonna punch somebody. And then also, we don't get to see, because Gohan is behind, because he just got snickered by Spopo bitch or something. So he was bad, and Krillin and the gang, that's Goku and them, he's Krillin's friend. They go off ahead with the Supreme Kai, and then Kobito or whatever probably takes Gohan and Videl over. But Videl can't keep up because she's a slow flyer, EliteAri, you just learned. And so we don't get to hear their reaction to all the stuff that's going down because it's just implied that they just know. Because, you know, anime always does that thing where they don't tell you information. Remember when Game of Thrones did this and we didn't get to see Sansa and Arya and Bran's reaction to Jon Snow being the king of everything? Oh, it's the worst. But Sherlock was the best, EliteAri.
It was true. I think also in addition to the just seeing all the reactions, it portrayed Sherlock in a very cool way, where it's like he's a shadow that's like looming across and is appearing, and I'm like, this is like kind of cool.
He is Batman.
Yeah, but I did like the reactions.
Well, Batman is him. Oh, well, EliteAri, you forgot to talk about the silly YouTube video.
Oh yeah, go ahead. So yeah, what you have one note.
My one note was it's like a little teaser or something.
It is. It's pretty much just the drum up excitement, right? The one thing I remember happening is that he like Sherlock talks through the DVD, and it's like, is this like planned, or is this like I don't know what's going on here. But yeah.
But yes, because I sent you a message on this because I wanted you to clarify if the bearded man was the guy that used to hate Sherlock and is now his biggest fan, and you said, yes, that is that guy. So
absolutely,
that was
Anderson.
Good. And then he continued to be throughout the thing. Was it implied that he was living there or something at one point? Or is he just there?
Living where?
There's a scene where he's doing chemistry in the flat, EliteAri.
Who?
And I was like, oh, is he like the new roommate? But no, I don't think he was.
Oh, you mean in the final episode?
It was in one of the episodes.
He was. I think he was just searching for drugs, right? For Sherlock's
What's this
drugs.
idiot's name?
Anderson, I think.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Yes, Anderson.
No, I don't think he lives with
Donovan
Sherlock.
is the other one.
That is.
She was only in like one scene at the beginning of number 2 because they were trying to catch bank robbers or something.
That is correct.
I don't remember if that came into it. What was episode 2 about again?
A wedding.
Oh, the wedding.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember that one. True. It was a little teaser thing. That's all I have to say about that.
Well done. Okay. Molly replaces John for a bit in this episode. Not really too much to say.
Oh, that was the. Oh, hold on. I have notes about that, so I got to catch up on all my notes until we get to that.
All right, go ahead.
Because that was obviously a million times better show than the shitty show we're watching with this fucking John Watson. It easily the worst character. Oh, the great Molly, EliteAri.
Yeah,
she's terrific. Anyway, this is not a good bait and switch, and for this dumb show, I had much. Oh, this was the note, EliteAri. This was not a good bait and switch for this dumb show. I'd much prefer Molly to John to be Sherlock's pal. Dumb fucking show. Just making it all look terrible in comparison because the great Molly is here.
That is funny. It got the complete opposite effect to what they wanted. Wow.
They wanted us to miss shitty John Watson and his dumb fucking idiot stuff he does.
That's right.
He's a doctor. Molly's like a doctor and something else, I bet. And she's a girl, EliteAri. Did you ever think about that?
She is.
What if Sherlock was a girl? You can make a TV show about that. I'm sure it's better than this one.
It would be interesting. It'd be cool to be American, right? Oh my god.
She was an Asian lady.
Yes. Okay, go ahead. Next note.
Skype calls look a whole lot worse than they did all those years ago. True. Remember when I complained about that in season 1?
I don't remember this.
Maybe it was season 2. No,
yeah,
it was
it
both,
probably would
I
be.
think. No, because at one point, like Sherlock is shown like a crime scene. He's in complete HD on this laptop screen in the middle of nowhere, and I said,
Yeah, I
That's
do remember
stupid,
that.
and you defended EliteAri because you're a little simp for this show.
Yep.
And we had a real Skype call here, and it looked like normal Skype would in 2014, so terrible. And I thought that
Oh,
was very funny.
excellent. The technology's gotten
Um,
better.
what a great note. I don't have many more notes for this episode. So trains and stuff underground. It's like the opening to Uncharted 3. True.
Oh my
In
god.
Uncharted 3, you're in the London Underground and you're going through like the train system and there's all a bunch of secret stuff and there's a whole secret society down there. And you got to shoot some people and break out of stuff and steal some treasures. Uncharted's the
Indeed.
greatest of all time.
I have
Literally.
one note about the train thing, which is a complaint, if you can believe it. I think this might be the first notable thing where I thought, oh, it's weird that Sherlock missed this. And it's the whole idea of the vanishing carriage of the train, where like he sees the footage of the train arriving one time, and he's like, "Oh, there's something off. Something's weird. What's weird about this?" And then later on in the episode, the big reveal is that, "Oh my god, the carriage is missing, and that carriage must be somewhere else." And it's like, "Wait, you didn't realize that? Like, you're Sherlock. How did you not notice that there's like a whole entire carriage missing from the footage?"
Oh, there was another moment like that at the wedding where it's like it's obvious that like it's the soldier guy that's the target.
Oh, it did take a
and it took him,
while.
like, 30
Yeah,
more seconds.
that is true.
But I felt like he was buying time or something. I like justified it in my head of like obviously he already knows. He's just like doing it.
I mean, I justified it with the meta of like, oh, they're doing a cool directing shot of all the people disappearing from the chairs. So I was
True.
like, I'll just
I
let
will
that
say
happen.
I don't know if it's more or it's same or it's the same as the previous season, but lots of cute little editing visual things that were really cool. And that's probably the best thing about this silly show is, where he's actually talking on laptops to these 5 women, but they're in like a courthouse and he's like divvying them all down, and then it crosses over into the real world. And they did this with like the security thing. Then they were trying to break in episode 3, and it's like this is how it would play out, and it's like playing out in the foreground.
Yep.
But they're standing over there in the background. It's like a hypothetical. All that stuff was cool. That they do that stuff all the time.
It is true. There is a big change this season, though, with like something that becomes much more important, which is the depiction of the Mind Palace, which was like much more like not abstract, much more like boring, I guess, last season with the Baskerville stuff. This time is very like abstract and symbolic, and he's like walking through a literal space that represents like his mind, and there's like visuals projected onto his face, and it's much. Obviously I prefer this one than the cringy like he's looking around left and right and like imagining things in his head last season.
True. I remember that now.
Yeah. So yeah.
But true, that all that visual stuff was cool. I don't remember all of it, but it was good.
Excellent.
And then I hate earnestness, and my last note is I don't like the meta around how he faked the death. So apparently I was mad, EliteAri. I'm not mad anymore though.
Perfect. Yeah.
So there was a fire.
There was a fire? What do you mean?
Yeah, they threw John Watson under a fire.
Oh yeah, that was actually very like not uncomfortable, I guess. I don't know, like anxiety inducing. Where it's like he's trying to scream, but he like can't scream, and I'm like, oh my god.
And some little kid's having fun. He's gonna light the fire. My goodness, what a little murderer.
Yep.
Now, this is also when they start teasing a big bad, and that's when I was like, oh, maybe the great Moriarty is dead because we're teasing out a new bad guy for this season. Isn't this crazy? But
true.
Also because like the whole first 30 minutes of the episode is just Sherlock coming back and reuniting with everybody, and then the mystery feels like such a thing in the background. I was like, oh, this is like an interesting new turn. It's like we don't have an overarching thing, which I did complain about the whole of the first 2 seasons. I said, oh, so everything is Moriarty, the first trap driver, and even the weird Chinese people were thrown in somehow. What a bunch of silly nonsense. Way to limit the grand world of the Sherlock universe, EliteAri. But they expanded it here, can you believe it? Now, was the guy in episode 3 the one that put the bomb on the train? I forgot. I can't remember.
No, he was just the guy who put Watson under the fire.
But he did do the fire.
Yeah.
True. These were separate instances.
Absolutely.
Now, who did the train? I don't remember.
I have no idea. Some terrorist group, right?
There had to be a character we met that was a terrorist.
Well, I mean, the guy, that one politician, not politician, but maybe it was a politician. The guy, he was like he had a briefcase. He was in a hotel room. You know what I mean?
Yes, I vaguely remember him now.
Yeah. He wanted to kill all
because there was a whole train episode in season 2 too, right? Where there was a guy, and it was like
season 1 finale, wasn't it?
Bike. Oh, that's so long ago, Leary.
Yeah, exactly. There was like a USB stick in a house, and some guy got hit by a train, but it was like fake, and they put him on the roof of the train, and I don't know. It was like a whole thing. Yeah.
True, I believe it. So I was confusing my train episodes perhaps in my head, but
hey, that's okay. Okay, there's 2 characters I want to talk about.
Oh, he went back out and he put the silly hat on, EliteAri.
Oh yes, and then I'm sure the music played as well, and it was probably really cool.
Yes, the music started to get on my nerves a little bit. I was like, oh, this song.
I think it's the best thing in the show. It gives the show its identity. You play that song, and you're like, oh, it's Sherlock right here. You know, I feel it.
It makes me smarter just listening to it.
We met Sherlock's parents. Can you believe it?
Oh, that was a good one, EliteAri. They
Mm-hmm.
were cool, and we didn't realize they were. We must have had an interview with a bunch of clients. Those are always great scenes.
Yes.
But yes, Sherlock's parents are here, and they're so normal, EliteAri. You wouldn't expect them to have such silly little
Exactly.
boys.
Yeah. And they were very, like, to me, they were very descriptively real, especially in the first scene where Sherlock is just trying to get them out of the house, and they're like, oh, call us, we're here all weekend if you want to call us. I'm like, okay, yes, bye-bye, get out. It felt very real. I like that.
That was cute. That was cute.
Yep.
And we find out in the end that the mother is the smart one.
That is true, a mathematician or something.
Yes, like me, EliteAri. Ask me any times table.
1 times 8.
8.
Damn, impressive. Okay. We also meet.
Do you have to do
go ahead.
mathletics in school, EliteAri?
Absolutely. Well, I don't think I had to do it, but I think we did it for like fun during like math class or something.
Oh no, we had to do it as homework. It was like 30 minutes of athletics, mathletics, not athletics. I did that on the weekends, EliteAri. Each night, and then you had to write your spelling out, and then you probably had some grammar homework, and then probably some reading or something, a reading log, EliteAri. But mathletics, I don't know why, because you would go on the first level and you'd have to answer the most questions quickly, and it would be like
stressful.
3 times 3. Oh, that's 9. Oh, that was the greatest, and it was a little competition, a little race.
That is true.
Greatest of all time. I'm a mathematician. I got 1 times 8 right.
Yes, and you know who is the best at deductions? We find out Mycroft, who is always apparently better than Sherlock, and he's smarter than him. He can deduce things better than him.
The Mycroft characterization in this fucking season, EliteAri, it's a little weird, and I feel like that was one of them.
Interesting. Okay.
Mycroft's not a genius, EliteAri. He's like a smooth little politician guy, and he's only a politician guy because he's insecure because Sherlock is his younger brother and was way smarter than him. And if my younger brother was smart, I'd kill myself.
You're just completely wrong. He's smarter, but he's lazier. He just doesn't want to do any of the groundwork. He lets Sherlock do it.
And he's like a weak guy who Sherlock beats up, and he has to work out, and Sherlock can tell when he works out because he's out in feet, but Sherlock's a ninja, remember?
That's right.
So he's way cooler.
Yep. But in this episode, they do have the best deduction scene, like, so far. Like, it's the clearest chain of, like, oh, I understand the reasoning and everything. It's the scene where Sherlock and Mycroft are, like, they have the beanie from this guy, and they're just trying to, like, deduce who is the owner of this beanie, basically. And it's like a back and forth, and it works because like all the little things they mention, like, oh, he like chews on the thing and therefore he has like bad breath because we can smell blah blah blah. It's like really obvious stuff, but it makes sense. And whenever there's something where it's like one of the characters makes a really big leap and it's like, oh, that's weird, how'd they come to that? The other character is like, I mean, you're just making an assumption there and it could be this. And I'm like, oh my god, that's so true, you're answering the questions I have. And so yeah, I
do remember this. There was a guy with a beanie or something, and he chewed on it. True.
Yeah, and then later on in the episode, we find out who that guy is, and it's like a funny reveal of like, this is the guy with the beanie. So we love it. Yes.
I just watched it so long ago. Now, the best one was when they were drunk and he couldn't figure it out. Oh, and the best one is when he found out that the wife was a bad guy and it all just changed to liar.
True, that was actually very cool. And you do see that. I remember when the episode came out and I was on Reddit back in the day, people were pointing out, like, you can see that liar is like one of the things that shows up in the initial deduction scene where he's like seeing Mary for the first time. And it's like, oh my god, she's like, how does he know what's happening? Is there like more to Mary than meets the eye? And yeah. Also a fun trivia thing. I don't know if you knew this, but
how about we think of some better names, EliteAri?
That's we're gonna talk about Molly. Actually, I had my last name about Molly.
Land.
But Mary's actor is was married to John Watson's actor for I don't know how many years. But they apparently broke up in 2016. So.
Yeah. That's why she's not in season 4, EliteAri. That's crazy.
I guess we'll see.
We'll find out about that. Oh my god, EliteAri. Oh, first of all, I wanted to make a joke. Mary had a little lamb. That's about Jesus, EliteAri, but you didn't. And then I had another joke.
Go ahead.
Oh, it's just like Mad Men, where Roger and his wife are married in real life. And there's probably some other examples, but that was like a thing when I thought about it just now. Now, the next joke, where was I going afterwards, EliteAri? I got my 2 jokes out, though, so that's good.
Wonderful. Okay, well, I'll let you try and think of it as I talk about...
Say, Liar, Mary, same name, Molly's way cooler. I'm never going to
Well, speaking about jokes, there was definitely a joke in this episode, which is that Molly has a boyfriend, and he looks exactly like Sherlock.
He does, EliteAri. She moved on. She's very confident she moved on.
True.
And they have a ton of sex, she says in the next episode, I think. So that's
right.
very good.
Yep.
And it is great. This is like a great little thing where it's like, now it feels like they're obviously going to get together in season 4, EliteAri. You don't even try to deny it. We've set them all up. She even broke up with her boyfriend for no reason in the last episode. And and the great Sherlock's coming back, and he even broke up with his great girlfriend that he had, but we're not up to her yet, EliteAri. But it feels better now that she hasn't like waited for him for like 4 seasons being ignored. She's not like the dumb nerdy girl that got ignored. Now she's like she took control for a little while, even if it was like a little Sherlock doppelganger. At least she did it, EliteAri. That was terrific. Molly, her confidence went up. She was slapping him around. Molly's the best, EliteAri.
That is true. And I'm pretty sure an original character to the show. I don't think she's in the books or anything. So we love Molly.
Yeah, those fucking suck.
That's true.
I forgot what I was going to say.
Well, I don't have anything else for this first episode, so we can move on if you don't have anything else.
Yeah, that one was silly. Who cares? Let's move on to the
Absolutely. That was just all about the resolution to Sherlock. So we now know he's alive and
First
he's out 30
minutes was really good, EliteAri.
Yes, indeed. But now we move on to the Sign of 3, which, do you know what that means? What that title is referring to?
The Sign of 3. Now, this episode was the wedding one. Oh, because she's pregnant,
Exactly, yes. Okay, so what do you think about this episode overall?
EliteAri.
No, give me an overall thought first.
I remember because I planned to just start it because I hadn't watched an episode in 2 weeks, and I ended up watching 33 minutes or something. So it was pretty good. And then the whole wedding sequence was pretty good too, because the best character of all time, this bridesmaid, showed up, EliteAri, and she was terrific. Janine. She was wonderful. Her and Sherlock together was terrific. And then they were kissing the next episode, EliteAri, and nearly fell out of my chair. But it was too good to be true. I was being fucked with. This show does suck. But so I thought all the dynamics here were pretty cool, I think. I do think the soldier guy was a little boring. Nobody cares. There was another soldier guy that got stabbed in the shower and he was alive. That was crazy. Then
that was crazy, yeah. I forgot that he was alive.
This is the scene where there was a scene where there was a what do you call it? Whatchamacallit? The lady scene I was talking about from before. That one was terrific, EliteAri. This was a good old episode. There was a bunch of ladies and he said, not you, not you. And he had to figure it out on the fly, because at some point I was like, oh, we're doing a nice wedding episode. I'm like, because obviously the tension is like Sherlock fucking up the speech and then it's being interrupted, and then it was like going into like there might be a murderer in the room, and I was like, no, we're just gonna they can't have a murderer at their wedding. That's too wacky. And then it did end up being that, EliteAri, because we're in a wacky show and sometimes I forget.
That's right.
But that's true, EliteAri. What a terrific episode.
Yes, I would describe this episode as fun. That's what I would say. Very different. I know that this is a very divisive episode, but there's a lot of people who don't like it, and there's a lot of people who are like, that's like the best episode
losers, of Sherlock. Capital L losers. What do they want? Another Chinese saga? Another cab driver? Shitty fucking Moriarty?
Oh my god, Moriarty. We'll talk about him next episode. But talking about cameos, actually.
Of him in Fleabag, EliteAri, and I said, where'd this great actor go for Sherlock? Why is he so shit in Sherlock when he's so great in the great Fleabag here?
Just watch him and Sherlock talk to each other on their own in that first scene in like the final episode of last season. It's so great.
In season 1, that one you love so much, the last.
No, I did not like that much. But in that scene where there's all the women, Irene Adler shows up for literally a single shot. And then
that's what I was going to say earlier. That was one of the things I forgot, where I was like, oh, that's the time I Googled it. And she came back in an episode. Now I'm so sad, EliteAri. She's never going to be back.
Yeah, it was very funny. Very impressive. It actually, just from a production standpoint, that is very impressive, because usually whenever they bring back a big actor, it's like they're there for at least like a little bit more, but she's literally there for like maybe 2 seconds and she's gone and she's like never there again.
There's a ton of things popping into his head then. It was great.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, so this back to the beginning of this episode. Now that we know what you think, I guess overall, just for my thoughts, I like it a lot. I think it's a very good episode. It is interesting because it opens. This has a very bad opening, which is obviously different from the rest of the episode. Which is it opens clearly with a very straightforward gag, which is that the police are trying to catch these bank robbers, and then at the end he's like building up. Oh, I can't wait. Yeah, I can't wait to go get them, and I'm gonna go finally handcuff them and everything. And then Sherlock calls like not for backup. He just says he needs help, and then the gag is that, oh my god, he sent all the backup, and it's like, oh okay.
It was for wedding stuff he had to decide, EliteAri. That's a real emergency.
Indeed.
That's the same as every Sherlock gag, EliteAri. This one isn't particularly bad.
I suppose, but I didn't like it at all.
And the great Donovan, in my first note here, was in this one episode, EliteAri, this one scene.
That is correct. I wonder if she'll ever come back.
That's all I have to say.
All right, so it's a wedding. The whole thing, every character is telling Sherlock that life is going to change now, basically. You know, when 2 people get married, the friends disappear. Yeah. Well, we don't know if he's jealous. I'd probably describe it as more so like fearful of like he's probably going to get replaced or whatever, not necessarily jealous. I don't know if that's the right word
No,
here.
he was jealous, and he was
Mm,
jealous of his ex-boyfriend, this commander guy, and he was asking questions, and he even accidentally called him the X. And that was hilarious, and Tumblr was going wild, EliteAri.
maybe. Mary does have a good scene where she calls out Sherlock and is like, "Oh, you thought either of us were the first? No, there's like someone before us." It's like, oh, that's cute.
True.
Mary's the best. Um,
No, the best EliteAri is Sherlock's girlfriend, which I wrote down sarcastically here earlier. He said, I like Sherlock's new girlfriend
mhm,
because they were making fun of all the guests together, and he was trying to find her a boyfriend. And she was like Irish or something, and
mhm.
she was funny.
True. I agree. I had a moment where I was like, I completely forgot that she existed as a character until she showed up in the episode. I was like, oh my
Halfway
god,
through.
that's Janine. I even knew her name like immediately, but I didn't know that she existed. And I was like, man, I remember really liking her, and I couldn't remember why because by the end of this episode, she's like done, and I was like, oh, I guess that was a really quick ending. And then she was in the next episode too. I'm like, oh my god, I completely forgot she was in that episode.
Sherlock's
Um,
fucking girlfriend, EliteAri. Show some fucking respect.
that is true. But yeah, to be honest, in this episode, I just have scattered notes. Like Sherlock does a speech. Obviously, that's the bulk of this episode. It's initially very cringe, but then it turns very heartfelt. I'm curious what you thought about that because you were talking before
Ernest.
about
Yeah.
about that how you can go from like wacky to like very heartfelt and it can be off. I liked it. It's very like well written or whatever. Like not well written. Like oh, it's like really good, but like it's very cleverly written, I suppose is the best way to say it, where Sherlock is like tearing down all these people, and then later on he's like, oh yes, but that was an example of me being like of disavowing the virtuous and blah blah blah, and I'm like, oh my god, look at
Great
him. Exactly.
It is true
Um,
because they are juggling three things. They're judging sarcastic Sherlock, who doesn't understand social cues. They're juggling intentionally cringe to create tension. Is he going to fuck this up? And then they're also doing the earnestness, which comes with its own set of cringe, at least for me,
mhm,
where it's like he has to transition between these things of like, he's being an idiot,
yes.
and then he's being earnest, and then he's like, oh, he's fallen over. Look at this idiot.
Yep.
It's interesting, and obviously it's a very long scene. And they did this more. I feel like they didn't do this as much in the last two seasons, where we're telling shit out of order a lot,
hmm Yeah.
which is cute. I like it. It creates like tension and stuff. There was one part where we were away from the speech for like 10 minutes, and then we cut back to the speech, and I was like, oh, the speech is still going.
Yeah. Exactly.
um, it was cute. That telling shit out of order stuff is clever. Sometimes I'm like, that
hmm
would be really hard, especially when I think in the third episode, there's parts where it's like two
Yes.
lines and then they cut back and it's like, this is like, imagine if you were trying to write this out or something or
Yep.
figure this out. I feel like this would be a nightmare to
Oh, it's
like
the great
create.
Stephen Moffat with the
Like,
Doctor Who time travel writing. Okay, he can figure it
yes,
out.
he can just juggle these things because obviously like The Last of Us Part 2 does that a lot. And it's like,
Mm.
what order do you put these scenes in? But here it's like more refined where it's like, these have to happen in this order for the tension to
Yeah.
even
Exactly.
exist.
Yeah.
How do you even think about this? Like this, like I get confused when I'm trying to figure out which fucking point about Denji I should make first. These
Amen.
idiots, they got different fucking settings to give exposition and make it all flow.
You know what? Maybe that's
I don't
why.
know.
Actually, I am actually very curious, and I don't think we'll ever find out. Or maybe there's like interviews or whatever. But there were 3 writers on this episode, all 3 writers. I'm curious if they like divvied it up. Of like some person wrote like the flashback mysteries, some person focused on like the wedding stuff, like someone focused on the admiral like his like murder mystery stuff. Like I'm curious how they divided that. You know, because it is
It is
atypical that
crazy.
there's like 3 of them working on this. But yeah.
Yeah, because there's like I don't know, there's like Family Guy scenes where like it's like the writing scene and one guy's sitting on the couch and the other's typing, and it's like
hmm
the couch guy is the ideas guy, but the guy and they both get a writing credit or something. I think the gag in Family Guy is that the guy on the couch isn't doing anything or whatever.
hmm
Um, and then because I've been watching The Sopranos and I've been looking through like the Wikipedia page to see who wrote what and like, oh my god, when's the Mad Men guy coming in? Oh, he's not yet. Next season, Leary, next season. Oh my
hmm
god, the Boardwalk Empire guy wrote this one. That's why it was so good. Justifying this stupid shit in my head. And I know
Absolutely.
there's like a husband wife combo, and a lot of their episodes are like they did it together. It's very interesting. But then there are other ones where it's just like there's some where it's so complicated where it's like writer Robin Green or something. That's the wife. Usually
hmm
her husband's there. I forget the husband's name or whatever. But just say it's one guy. And then the next episode will say written by David Chase, Terrence Winner, and Robin Green, teleplay by this guy. It's like there's 7 credits. And it's like, so what happened
uh,
for this episode
yeah.
versus this episode? It's like, does David Chase, the series creator, want to write the Tony scenes or something because it's very important to get
Yeah.
those right or something, and everybody else does the fill-in work or something? It is very interesting. Of like, is that actually like you do this part, I'll do this part, you'll do this
Yeah.
part, and then bringing them together? You'd think that'd be a nightmare. I don't know how the actual writing process works.
I mean, that's probably why it takes so long, I'm guessing. There's like probably a lot of like
Mm.
back and forth and just.
But then Red Letter Media always complains in their videos like, "Yeah, Batman vs Superman's got 7 riders on it, brother. That's why it's shit." And it's like, well, how the fuck does that work? It's probably just like the script has gone through like 7 drafts where each person has taken like and changed it a little bit until like the studio or whatever, or the committee or whatever, just signs off on it. I got no fucking idea.
True.
But there's multitudes of ways, EliteAri. You know, sometimes manga artists have assistants that draw the trees.
That's very true.
They're not on the front cover though. My goodness.
I know.
What are these Japanese doing? They don't credit their people. They don't pay Mappa, EliteAri. When are they going to pay Mappa?
Well, Mappa doesn't pay the animators, but yeah.
Anyway, EliteAri, I think I just said Sherlock was more complicatedly written than The Last of Us Part 2, so you better clip it.
I mean, it's true. Yeah, very true.
Shut up, EliteAri. It's not true.
Yeah. All right. So there's a few side stories.
My next note, EliteAri, is very important.
Go ahead.
It says, I had the same iPhone Sherlock has, but the gold version. I don't know which iPhone it is, but I remember. It's the only one I remember the visual of because it's the one with like the bar on the top of the backside. You know what I'm talking about here, EliteAri?
I mean, I don't remember because I thought it was an iPhone 5 or 5S or whatever, but the bar on the back
sounds about right. Let me look it up.
Okay.
You say your next note while I look up the iPhone 5S.
There was just a bunch of side stories. People are getting drunk. They're playing they're playing the name guessing game. That was a good game where Sherlock was trying to figure out who he was, and he was the king of England. Indeed, thank you. I just know all my iPhones, you know.
Oh, is this the one where they got drunk, EliteAri?
Exactly, they got drunk. The directing was different, like the lighting and the warped lenses or warping and stuff.
And they were touching each other a bunch. And
exactly.
My goodness, EliteAri, how sexy that was.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then it was funny because they'd only been out for 2 hours, and Mrs. Hudson was making fun of her. And at some point, we get exposition that she lived in Miami, EliteAri, and her husband was a really bad guy. Now we already knew he got executed or something, but she was in on it too.
Yeah. It was kind of funny.
She was typing stuff up.
That's right. But yeah, Sherlock is the king of England. And then Watson was Madonna, who Sherlock had no idea who Madonna was. So yes. Do you know who Madonna is? I know she's a singer or something. That's all I know. Oh, I know that from Deadpool and Wolverine.
Oh yeah, that's the one. Like a Prayer.
Oh wow.
I think she also has a song called Like a Virgin, which is referenced in the beginning of Reservoir Dogs, where they have an argument about what that song is about.
Excellent.
You wouldn't know, or you'd never seen a Quentin Tarantino movie besides the one I made you watch.
Yeah. Okay.
Dogs are pretty cool.
Now,
Sherlock had a dog when he was younger, and it comforts him.
It is true. A dog called Redbeard, which is set up in this episode, and then we get the payoff next episode. So that's kind of crazy. Okay.
Remember Black Sails?
Yeah, I do remember Black Sails. Yeah, it's a very good show.
They had beards. And there was a guy with a red beard. His name was Israel Hands, and he was really super cool.
That's right. Okay, this is one of my favorite scenes as well. It's the scene where you get Mary. I almost said Molly. Mary gets a phone call, but it's actually a fake phone call, and she like gets John to go and like to go into a secret room with her so that they can talk about Sherlock being married. Exactly, and we get this amazing shot where she's like got her thumbs to both people, and you get like the devil horns in the background. It's like, this is so great.
This show is like shot way better than it should be. Like when I think of like the Sherlock show that people like there's no interesting shots in this fucking show, but they got them falling out of their ass over here, EliteAri.
It is really.
Tell me, Doctor Who is good.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. It is strange because Doctor Who is nothing like this. Like Doctor Who doesn't have like interesting directing. Yeah, Doctor Who is very has very good directing for certain episodes, but I would absolutely describe that as incredibly more generic than Sherlock in terms of visual style. Sherlock's a very interesting looking show. Doctor Who is not. And it's weird that like there's such an overlapping creative people behind it that it's just so different though. Like there's even directors that direct episodes here that have directed episodes of Doctor Who and they're just completely different styles. Like, I don't know, it's...
You think it's just budget or something? Is this
more
popular than Doctor Who?
I would assume that this is an incredibly popular show. I would imagine it's way more popular than Doctor Who. But also, I assume it's probably just the visual language that you start off with when you're starting the show. You probably decide stuff like this right at the beginning. Like, what is the directorial style we want when we want to make this show? And initially, it was obviously pitched as 3 episodes and it's like standalone things. So they probably had more time to actually think about what they wanted it to look like than you would for like Doctor Who, you know?
Aren't Doctor Who episodes like 30 minutes long or something?
No, they can go from like, 40 to like 50. It's like a typical like Breaking Bad kind of TV show.
I think this was another Soprano-ism where like they talk about how because those episodes are longer, like they went in with more of a movie mindset. So I don't know if it's because we're going for an hour and a half every week, they treat all of them like little movies, and therefore they're like, we better be not direct this for TV. We better be big boys, and that's why they have more directing spirit.
Yeah, I absolutely no idea. But it is 3 episodes every 2 years, so they probably just have a lot of time to think about these things. Yeah.
Storyboarding process is very long.
Indeed.
You know, they make AI do that now, EliteAri. That's why stuff is bad now.
I don't know if they do that, but very cool.
That was a big talking point in a YouTube video I watched recently where they said, these are the entertainment industries that have fallen, or the jobs in the entertainment industry that have fallen 50% because of AI.
Oh, wow.
And it said, storyboarder is one of them. So that's very sad, EliteAri.
Interesting. All right.
I feel like that would make sense, right? Give me a close-up shot of Sherlock looking westward. It's just a sketch anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it wouldn't replace anyone though. It would just it'd increase the productivity, so you'd have fewer people. Like you'd have 1 storyboarder instead of like 3, right? But you couldn't replace a single storyboarder, most likely.
Now a storyboard artist is a prompt artist, EliteAri. You remember that discourse?
Oh boy, no. Okay, there's a mystery in this episode. What did you think about it? So it's the overarching idea is that you have this guy, he was a guard, and there's this guy who was stalking him, and then randomly he died in the shower, and it's like, oh, how did he die? And you gotta like think about it. What did you think of this and the resolution and all that?
There was a bunch of disparate EliteAri mysteries that all folded into each other. Could you believe it?
It is crazy because Sherlock does it a bunch, but like it doesn't do it every time where like all the mysteries tie in together. So you can't always be like, oh, this must tie into this and it must not. But I don't know. It's interesting. But this time it did.
And for this one, it seemed like, oh, these could just be like weird tales from the past. But when he did bring up that, oh, I never solved that one, it's like, well, this is coming back later in the episode. Sherlock, there's no case that Sherlock can't solve, EliteAri. Don't be ridiculous.
True.
I don't know. It was cute. It was secondary to the wedding stuff, and then it sort of became the wedding stuff. But of course, the great woman scene was terrific, and this other soldier guy was funnily endearing. And there was a stalker guy, and he hated the one guy because they killed a guy or a bunch of guys and something.
He should have driven faster or something, is what Sherlock said.
True.
All right, excellent. I mean,
it was pretty obvious it was the same photographer guy when Sherlock noticed that, oh my god. No, he realized something and the photographer guy was right in the way, but Sherlock didn't figure it out. So
yeah, I was curious what you would think. So there was a shot. Obviously, I knew it was the photographer the whole time, but there was a shot where Sherlock is like dropping the glass, and then the only person you really see in focus is the photographer.
Yeah.
And when I was watching it the first time, I had no idea it was the photographer. But then I remember after watching the episode, I went to Reddit, and everyone was like, "Oh, it was like super obvious it was the photographer." Like I knew it was him right away. And I'm like, "Oh my god!"
I love Reddit.
Yeah, true.
I didn't notice him before that because I think because there was somebody taking photos. Maybe that was before we cut back and saw the flashback, so there was no suspicion or something.
Yeah, sure.
Or maybe I too am a fool, EliteAri. Could you imagine?
Yeah.
No, you couldn't.
It is important. I should probably mention it. I think I forgot to mention it. This is the first season I was watching week to week. Like I caught up to date at the end of season 2, and then I waited and watched this week to week. So I was reading discussions and theories and so on and so forth. You know.
Came out week to week, you saying?
Yeah. Well, it came out. It was every 3 days or something like that. Like, it came out really quickly, I think. But it was basically 3 episodes. Anyway.
Crazy.
Mary's pregnant. And the reveal is very cute. It's got like Sherlock slips up or whatever, but then he comes and he points out all the signs that are being very clearly laid out in the episode that you can track very nicely. And then the music is playing, and it's like very cute music, and then he makes a joke about how like, oh, you're not going to need me anymore. You've got a real baby. And, yeah, I don't remember what the song was, but it was a good choice. Yeah.
Because I remember I didn't write it down. I don't think.
Let me type it. Sherlock wedding song.
Because I'm thinking it's "Don't Stop Believing," but that's just because I'm thinking about The Sopranos, because it's the song from the last scene of The Sopranos. But it was like a song like that where it's like an 80s jam type song.
Okay, let me play 1 second of it. I mean, I just have it on YouTube that I bought, so...
You're not going to sing it for me so I can figure out what it is? This is pointless.
Let me skip right to the end. The audience is going to hear this, not me. I mean, not you, but...
Send me the link, EliteAri.
Wait. Don't know how those rumors started. I don't know this song. Wait, that's definitely not the right bit.
Send me the link, EliteAri.
Wait, we gotta be patient. I'm getting it up. People can hear it.
Fine, I'll find it myself.
Oh, what a night. That one.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Come 1963.
Yep.
You
Thank you. All right.
know that one?
Indeed.
What is that, a Bee Gees song? I don't remember. But
Oh,
no,
what a
that's like a 70s song,
night.
so I was off a little bit. I
Yes.
just sang that part.
Yeah, I know.
But true, it was a song. What a night, EliteAri. They got married. Too bad it was all a big lie, as we'll find out next episode, but that's crazy.
Yes. Now, then we get the final scene, which is Sherlock is all alone. He's looking around. He can't find anyone to dance with. And we know that he likes to dance because he mentioned it. That's Janine earlier. And it was very, like, this was actually, it was actually very sad. Where I was like, oh, this poor guy just wants to find someone to dance and no one wants to dance with him. But he can't say that he wants to dance because, like, he doesn't want to admit to anyone that he wants to dance,
True.
And then he leaves the wedding early. And early in the episode, Mrs. Hudson is like, who leaves a wedding early? And, yeah. Oh, and then more.
I don't remember that.
Most importantly, Molly is the only one to notice that he's leaving, and it was like, oh,
yes, because they're in love. Now, importantly, she is getting mad at her boyfriend a bunch in this episode. So I was like, oh, I see where we're going with this one. And then the next time she just says, yeah, I dumped that guy. He's a loser or something. So that was pretty funny. It was funny because he like got the deduction wrong, and she was so mad at him when it wasn't his fault at all. This Molly is so mean to this Sherlock for not being Sherlock, and then she like stabbed him with a fork. It was crazy.
That's right.
It was funny. And he made Lestrade answer too, and he got it wrong. And everybody was just so mean. The shot of him leaving, where you can hear the music in the background, that was a really good shot. I like that shot a lot.
He like puts his coat
up
or whatever.
Very Mad Men, which is very odd.
Interesting. Okay.
You better be clipping this fucking shit, EliteAri. I'm comparing this thing to literally my favorite things ever.
That's right.
The shitty Last of Us and shitty Mad Men. There is a very similar Mad Men scene in a season 3 episode where it's Roger's second wedding, and Don leaves, and the party's going on behind him. But actually, he walks up to Betty and kisses her. But it's not very. It's like a sad. It's just not good, EliteAri. It's a bad part.
Indeed. Yes. Yeah.
You'll know one day, EliteAri. So the same sadness, like the party's happening behind you, but you're leaving it, and there's like wow, that's just sad. And you can hear the music, and the lights were purple. I don't know, that party atmosphere when you're outside and it's going on inside, and it's like, oh, this is
like the sound is a bit different. It's a bit muffled. Yeah, exactly.
Yes, EliteAri. The sound is from the inside. You see.
Yeah.
True. I just remembered something I wanted to scream because it's very funny because it ties into things we've been talking about recently, but I know the perfect place to say it, and I remember I have a note about it, EliteAri. So everybody calm down.
Okay.
What about my other notes, EliteAri, you must ask? Yes, the iPhone 6, I had that one. It was the gold version.
The 5S. Yeah.
6S, 5S. What did I say? 6? 5. S?
I don't know. The S just, the only difference between the 5 and the 5S was that there was a fingerprint scanner on the 5S.
I didn't use fingerprints. I still don't use fingerprints. And you best believe I don't use facial recognition features either, EliteAri. I'm putting the password in each time.
Jesus, okay.
Now.
Is that true?
These two...
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Oh my god, Jesus Christ.
Every time it says set up the face thing, I'm like, I'm not doing this right now. It's not even like I don't want them to know my face thing. I'm just so lazy. Right. And I've seen too many shows. It's just you again, EliteAri, where they kidnap the guy and they just throw the phone at his face and it opens the. Now,
I mean, that is true.
What kind of safety is that, EliteAri?
Amen. You're right. You're safer than the rest of us.
Yeah, don't keep the passcode, EliteAri. They'll never figure out that it's my birthday.
That's right.
Anyway, where was I up to in my notes? These 2 episodes have been quite more character focused than the mystery. Well, we've already talked about that 7 times. Retard. Not Sherlock being earnest. Was mad about that. Sherlock is a jealous best friend. Genius. I feel like this is a great point, EliteAri, and obviously I haven't seen the finale yet, but I said this wedding really would have been a great finale episode. There was a moment where I was like, oh my god. I think it was when that song was playing and everybody's sort of dancing, and it's like they realized that John's and Mary are pregnant. It's like, oh my god, this like dancing scene. This would be a great finale where it's like, we don't want to come back, and it is like the end of their like they actually do like split apart after.
Yeah, it's the end of the chapter, and like Sherlock is being like, Sherlock at the end where he's like leaving quietly or whatever. Yeah, I could imagine it being like the end of the show.
Mary would follow after him. This would be a great ending.
Yeah.
Oh. This fucking shitty ending where he's gonna fake out die again is gonna suck. But anyway, what a great... Stop laughing, EliteAri. I know I'm correct. Now, but yeah, that was a good point. I like that point.
True.
It was very cute. I liked it a lot.
Yep. You could make a great video and call it like, this is how Sherlock should have ended, and then talk about why that would be a perfect ending.
It's a shit video that an idiot would like.
Yeah.
Now, don't worry, EliteAri. We haven't stressed my favorite Sherlock character, this girlfriend that you remember the name of that I don't remember, but she's in the next one, so we'll bring her up more there. But it was very funny and cute, EliteAri.
Yes.
But She must have only met her 5 years ago because that's when she assumed the identity. Can you believe it? And she ran up the stairs and she did remember the number immediately. And I said, "This girl so capable."
True.
But then she was evil, EliteAri. Can you believe it?
Or was she? I don't know.
She killed people, EliteAri.
Hey, we didn't know that for sure. Oh, I guess she did. Wait, no, we don't know. We never saw her kill anyone, right?
No.
All right. Any other notes?
Next episode, EliteAri.
Oh, okay. Next episode. All right, we have the final episode of season 3, his last vow. So this
because he vowed that he would always protect him,
that's
true. What he does. He's gonna sacrifice his life, and then he sacrifices his future for their future. And Absolutely. He's very he never doubts the great Mary or whatever. He's like on her side constantly. Maybe a little bit too much. We'll talk about that when we get there, EliteAri.
Yep. So, overall thoughts. What do you think about this finale episode?
What an engaging episode. Let me just say, EliteAri, Sherlock was in love for about 20 minutes, and it was the greatest period of my life.
Wonderful. This was an episode I was looking forward to, because this is like probably my second favorite episode. Like I have Reichenbach Fall is probably my favorite, the finale of last season. And then probably this one, and then after this probably like Scandal in Belgravia. And then it just like disappears from there into like all random episodes, you know?
So season 4 does suck. Thanks for spoiling, EliteAri.
Yeah, we'll see.
Didn't hear the Christmas episode on there.
You know, actually, I don't want to. We'll leave it for. We'll talk about. I actually forgot about that. We'll talk about that next time. What was he saying? Oh yeah, no, yeah, interesting. I like this episode. But a big thing to talk about in this, and when I say big thing, I mean we'll talk about it briefly, is Charles Augustus Magnuson as a villain. He is very much
what a no
to me.
Such and such.
He is very much like this is what I would have expected Moriarty to be. Obviously, we got a subversion with Moriarty, and this is like a very straightforward, like, he's got a mind palace, he's really smart, he was very villainous, he's very serious, he's got glasses, and he's a serious old man with an accent, and it's like, oh, this very much feels like a Moriarty,
you know? Piss on you.
Yeah. So what do you think about him as a villain, and then in comparison to Moriarty is what I would say?
I mean, it's sort of like a great exercise. There's a equally terrible YouTube video to the video we just speculated on making about how this is how you truly get the people to hate a villain, and it's not by doing horrible things, it's by being just petty and rude. And I was like, I hate this guy, EliteAri. He's the worst. He was flicking John Watson in the face, EliteAri. That was no good. He was pissing in the fireplace, and then he like threw the tissue on the ground after he wiped his hands. And then one time he ate some of Sherlock's pasta, and then he dipped it in his water, his fingers, and then got up. This guy's no good. And he licked that lady, EliteAri. That was no good. We don't like this fella. He's the worst.
That's right. Excellent. Do you know the actor? Are you familiar with him?
I definitely wanted to look him up, but I forgot because he felt recognizable. Are you going to spoil it for me before I can look it up?
I mean, I just don't even know if you've seen him in anything. He's Lars Mikkelsen, so Mads Mikkelsen's brother. I obviously know him from this. This was the first thing I ever saw him in. But these days, he's obviously... Well, I don't know how obvious it is to you, but he's Grand Admiral Thrawn in Star Wars. He's a big Star Wars character now.
Is he in anything I just know?
I don't know. I only know him from like this and from Star Wars.
The Star Wars thing. What Star Wars?
Oh no, he's like a blue character. He's gonna be in the future movies. He's in the Ahsoka show. He's like a big he's in the Clone Wars, but he's in like the cartoons, basically Rebels.
Where was he supposed to be from? Because he starts shit talking the English for a little while, and I'm like, aren't you just an English idiot? But apparently he's Danish, according to Wikipedia here. Yeah, they expect me to fucking know the difference? Dumb fucking Brits.
Absolutely.
Star Wars Rebels and Ahsoka. How about you kill yourself? The Witcher. I ain't seen.
I mean, he is the best part of like whatever he's in. He's the best part in. I would say he's probably the best part of this episode. He's also the best part of Rebels, like in the episodes he's in. He's the best part in Ahsoka. Hateable. He's just a very good actor, I would say. Yeah. Anyway,
I ain't recognizing any of this shit. Wonderful. House of Cards. I haven't seen it. EliteAri.
Oh, he was in House of Cards, wasn't he? Oh my god, that's actually crazy.
3 years.
Man, I didn't even remember who he played, but I remember him. That's actually crazy you said that. That's wild. That's probably what I knew him from the most, actually.
Naruto! Danish dub. Oh, never mind.
Oh, wow. Well, he is a voice actor in Star Wars. Apparently. Yeah. All right, anyway.
I guess he's in Monsters vs. Aliens. I know I watched that movie when I was a little kid. General OK McMission. That's pretty funny, EliteAri. OK and Mission is in his name. But I don't remember that movie. Do you think the aliens or the monsters won, or do you think they have to team up to beat up the evil humans at the end? I don't know.
Yeah, I think the aliens won. That'll be my guess.
It'll be our next movie night, EliteAri. I'm very excited.
Yep.
So I don't know this idiot from anything.
Wonderful. Okay, so what do we talk about in this episode? There's like I don't have any like structural notes here. It opens up and
Well, EliteAri,
it's
I have
very out of
great
order.
play-by-play notes here if you want to hear them.
Yes, please.
Don't you just want a big old house, EliteAri? True, he had a big old house. It was so cool. I want to be rich and have a big old
No,
house,
but you know
EliteAri.
what?
What do you
No,
think?
he's got too many windows. It's like weirdly like you'd feel so
No,
weird.
it's
Everyone
like
can just see
modern and
in.
white. It's like perfect. And
It
there's
does,
like a lake
yeah.
outside.
It does look
You
good.
know what it reminds me of a little bit of, EliteAri? It reminds me a little bit of Canberra and how everything looks around there. And I like
Maybe.
that aesthetic. But
Hmm.
there's like too many trees in Canberra, so it's not good. But I
Very
like
true.
white. When you're inside any gallery of modern art, EliteAri, everything's white marble. There's very little things. It looks very liminal.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like corridors and stuff. And sometimes there's like harsh blacks, EliteAri. But sometimes, and there's a lot of windows. These are all good things, EliteAri. These
Hmm.
are all things that we need.
Yes.
So I like this house. I'm gonna buy it, EliteAri, when my YouTube money comes in, and you can fund the other half. All right? I'm not
Wonderful.
paying you back either.
Yep.
I did Sherlock for you. You do this for me.
All right. Easy.
EliteAri doesn't like material things. He just wants to be in a digital space or something.
That is true, but also, I mean, I'd buy it. Like, it's a good house if I could afford it. You know, the only issue is just so many windows. Like, people can see in. You have no privacy. If that had curtains or something,
Just
or like, but
it's like
polarized,
the
like,
Honora house where there's too many windows. Didn't we say that in that one too?
oh god, I don't remember.
It was a very big house with a lot of windows.
That is true.
And
Okay.
there was a lot of sex happening. Well, I guess when you have a house that big, you don't really. Well, I guess if somebody's got binoculars, literally, then that would be
True.
bad. But like, you don't got neighbors that can see that far or something. Or maybe you get that great glass, you know, where it's like it's see through on one side but not on the
Mhm.
other. We had that in our primary school, like the office. Like they could see out, but you couldn't see in. It
Mhm.
was like crazy. It's like don't misbehave when you walk past the office because
Yeah,
they can see you when you're running when you're supposed to be walking.
that's
That shit
right.
was crazy. That's the only time I think I've ever seen that in real life. What the fuck was that all about?
It's technology. Yeah, it's pretty wild.
That was some psychological shit on little children. That
Yep.
shit was crazy.
All right.
Oh my god! Remember your primary school area? It feels like it's fake. It feels like that wasn't a real place, but I can remember it's so detailed in my mind. My goodness.
Yep.
I'm having a moment, Leary, but let's move on to my second note here. This
Mhm.
guy's gross. I sure hope Sherlock catches him.
And
He
he
shot him,
certainly
Leary. That
did.
was pretty good.
Yep.
Sherlock just straight Alfred his brother. That was a good moment.
Wait, what? Where he like? Wait, what happened?
He was high and he threw him into the wall.
Oh,
And said,
yes, yes.
"You're a little pussy. I'm gonna break your neck."
Yep. Mycroft
And
did
then
have a
John
scene
Watson
where
said,
it's like building up the reputation of Charles Augustus Magnuson, where he's like, if you ever hear this, if you're gonna pretend you didn't hear this word.
"Oh yes.
And I'm like, oh my god.
Otherwise, I'm gonna put child pornography on your computer." He said, "My
That
goodness."
is, yeah, he threatened them.
My next note is weird. It's like character reunion out here. Molly's engagement got called off because she stabbed that guy last episode. Now they can get together though. Now, what did I mean by it's like a character reunion out here?
All the characters were coming together again. We were seeing them all. I don't know.
But
That's the only thing
they
that
would
can
have been
mean.
together the episode before that.
Who knows? Time had passed
I'm
because
sure
they like got him married. It was like a big time skip, so maybe that's why it was like, oh, they're reunioning when they went to that drug den or whatever.
Was it that? There was something about. Let me tell you something, EliteAri. My move over girlfriend, my new favorite Sherlock character is the weird drug guy that we keep around.
Really?
He's great. He's hilarious. He's a funny guy.
Oh wow, that's very
He
surprising.
speaks weird and British. I like
Wiggins
him
or
a lot.
something,
He's
right?
very funny.
What was it?
I
Yeah,
don't
it was.
know,
I think it was
but,
Wiggins. Yeah. What lovely.
Yes, because he tried to fake that that people
had a
call
cool
me this,
name,
and Sherlock said,
yeah.
"No, they don't." And that was pretty funny. They did that twice.
Yep.
And then, like, when Sherlock knocks everybody out, he's like, "This guy will look after him. It's like his job." And he said, "It is." Oh, and he was good at deductions, Alita. He was like Sherlock's
Sure.
protege, except Sherlock said he wasn't. That was all hilarious.
Oh wow.
He like figured out that John folds his shirt or something.
That's right. Well done.
Anyway, terrific. That guy's. We got character tier list, Leary. That guy, Sherlock's girlfriend, Sherlock.
What about Molly? Oh my goodness.
Molly, above Sherlock. What are we doing here? Sherlock has annoying Ernest moments, so
That's
he
right.
moves down to 4. John Watson, bottom of C tier, barely passes. I hate this guy. Anyway, Lestrade, S tier. What a guy. Oh, these fucking Discord notifications won't stop, Illyria. They're starting to piss me off. Now, where are we up to?
I have no idea.
He's fucking the love of my life, Illyria, I put down, because I was in love with this Irish girl, of course, and she was and he said, "Don't go in that room," and then she came out of the room, Illyria. I was freaking out. I couldn't believe it, and she was so nonchalant. And then like there'd been comments throughout the episode about shit that got moved around in the house, and it was like, oh, I guess he just moved his chair. That's something to bring up. And then it's like, oh, it's because she's there all the time and she started to move shit, EliteAri.
That's
This is what's
right.
going to happen, EliteAri, when you get a lady in your life. That couch where it is, EliteAri, it's going to be moved to the back, and the TV's going to be. Don't worry, when I go back in there, I'll notice. It's going to be crazy. But that's
true. She
that's
was
the thing
there. She
women
was
do,
calling
EliteAri.
Mycroft Mike. She was giving Sherlock a
Yes.
nickname.
Oh, does anybody actually call him that? He says, "Oh, what a funny thing." And she hadn't told a friend yet, and I was like, "This would be complicated and stuff." And then there was like repeated things where I was like, "Okay, this isn't actually happening. The second shoe's gonna drop here," and she just like this Sherlock lets her stay here, or she's like the new roommate or something because she's his only friend because they made a rapport at the wedding or stuff. But like the stuff being moved around was like proof that she's there a lot and this isn't just a one-off. Then she like gets in the bath with him or something, and I was like, and she kisses him all the time, and I was like, oh my god, EliteAri, there's no going back now. But it turns back they did go back now. But the scene in which they did it, where she's in the hospital, it was very funny, so I wasn't even mad about it. It was hilarious, EliteAri, and they like came to an agreement because they'd both fucked each other over, and it was very cute. And she had turned his morphine off because even though she had fucked him over a little bit, she was still mad. So she was extra mad because women are allowed to be extra mad, EliteAri. That's just how things work.
That's society.
Oh, it was terrific. And then she kissed him at the end too on the forehead, and that was very cute. And she lied in the paper and said they had a bunch of sex, but they didn't have any sex, EliteAri. That's very important, right? Because Sherlock's gonna have sex with Molly next season.
All right, if you say so.
It's like the reverse of other shows where the girlfriend always has to be the one that avoids ever having sex with anybody else. And this time, Molly's allowed to have sex. What a progressive show, EliteAri, but Sherlock's the little loser who's not allowed to have any sex. Oh, it's just so good.
Yep.
Anyway, she moved everything around. This is the greatest twist in Sherlock history.
Yep.
My next note is not as happy. Wait, no, it's 2 notes later. What's this one in the middle? This show continues to be visually interesting with hypotheticals. True, EliteAri, what a genius.
Yep.
I knew it was too good to be true, EliteAri, is exactly what I have written down here. I was upset.
He like proposes to her. It's just so heartbreaking.
No, this was before she turned on him. This was when he was like, oh yeah, I only did this so we could get in here. It was all for this one thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it was when he like put the ring up to the camera and he's like, oh my god. One thing
my goodness.
Because I didn't remember any of these details at all until they happened. But there was a thing in my mind where I'm like, oh, this is like really convenient that she like happens to work there. And then I remembered, oh my god, it makes perfect sense because like Mary would have tried to get in there too, and that's how she became her friend, like to get into the places, just like how Sherlock got there. I'm like, oh my god, this is crazy.
Evil, no good sociopaths, EliteAri, don't you know? We're gonna get to that in a second.
True.
But true. I just wanted them to be in love. It did feel a little weird. It's like if Sherlock was going to get a girlfriend, I feel like this would have been a more focused upon plot point, and we would see more of it. Just like that one lady that one time. My favorite character. She's an S tier too, EliteAri. Are you keeping track?
Of course. Rest in peace.
Oh, Lyra, there was a funny that when she's still alive, EliteAri. She escaped the Taliban. Now, there was a funny line where he didn't care about the safety of the knocked out guard because he had a white supremacist thing on him. And then this is when I looked up the date to see if this joke was cringe or if this joke was funny. Because if this had come out in 2016, then the joke would have been cringe and pandering.
Sure,
but because it came out in 2014, it was cool, cutting edge, and before its time.
Right.
Look at Sherlock, my goodness. Now, next season, there better not be any Donald Trump references, EliteAri.
You know what? I don't remember. There is very possible that they could be. I know in Doctor Who there's a lot. Funny, so I don't know. We'll see.
Not Doctor Who. How could they?
Yep.
Keep your politics out of my Doctor Who, EliteAri, is all I'm trying to say. I did suspect this Mary girl a little, so apparently I wasn't so surprised. Just once, question mark. What? Oh, this was the when she said we could have had sex just once. Sorry, this was.
Wait, we're beyond the whole scene. With the like mind palace and Sherlock gets shot and he's like falling backwards and having to decide, do I fall backwards or do I fall forwards? And I need to stay out of shot.
That was clever.
It was.
And Molly was there and helping him. Yep. And then Moriarty was there. That actually made me believe Moriarty was dead when he was in the palace or whatever. And we were 3 episodes without him. And I was like, oh, he's like, it's like, this is how we bring the actor back for a little cameo.
Yeah.
And then because as we got closer and closer to the end, it didn't seem like we were going to wrap up the story with this guy. It's like, oh, he's just going to be the bad guy in season 4. But no, that did get wrapped up. He shot him, EliteAri. And then Moriarty is back, maybe. Probably.
Yeah. Well, there's a bunch of stuff just in this. Yeah, the Mind Palace. Like, we see Sherlock as a kid. We see him, like, viewing... Because obviously this is all from his perspective. So we see him viewing Mycroft as, like, looking down on him. And Mycroft being smarter than him.
And an old man.
And an old man, yes. He sees, like, obviously we see how important the dog was to him. You know, they're putting the dog down, like they're putting him down now, and it's like, oh, Moriarty's in this. The whole, like, even the shot, they did this like with the bed thing back in season 2, but they did a similar thing here where it's like he's falling back, and instead of him falling back, it's like the whole room is like rotating forward, and it's really well done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True. It was good.
Yep.
It was very long too, I think. And oh
It
my
was.
goodness, EliteAri, the perfume and stuff, and then it was John Watson's wife, and I said, this can't be. And then I was like, oh,
True.
but it was. And then I was like, but I don't think we would have a wedding just to get rid of this character right now. That seems like a waste of time. But it turned out we weren't getting rid of this character, EliteAri.
Yep.
My goodness. My next note, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes, it was them love. Love is not real on Sherlock. I have with multiple exclamation marks. I was very upset, EliteAri. Love isn't real.
Mm-hmm. Except for Sherlock's parents.
True. They were an ideal thing, and that's why they were there, except it wasn't. I love this retarded guy.
The drug addict? Who? He's the retarded guy. Oh, okay.
That was him. He was my favorite guy. The thematic made literal gaslighting of John here about him seeing all this is kind of crazy. Can you believe they did your boy John like this, EliteAri? I couldn't believe it.
I don't know what I think about this. It is weird, because it's like very clearly he probably didn't pick up anything from Mary, right? She just seemed like a normal person.
They kind of gang up on him and say, you knew the whole time. Come on. And then he kind of agrees. Well, he's mad for multiple months off screen, but he's just like, I'm like, it's wacky. I don't know.
It is wacky. I do agree with that. It's fine, but it's a bit weird, you know? Because Mary, like, from our perspective, there are like tiny things to hint at it, but we're not meant to really pick it up until the big reveal. That's why it's a big reveal.
No,
so it's like,
it's fine that there's clues. It's not like you subconsciously knew the whole time. That's why you picked this girl. It's because, and again, this is like the Tumblr thing where it's like we're kind of leaning into him and Sherlock being in love a little bit, where it's like, yeah, you just chose female Sherlock as your wife because of course you did, because you love Sherlock. Now it does thematically kind of work, because they did try to do this in the first episode where they were like, he's not traumatized by Afghanistan, he misses Afghanistan, and that's why he wants to go on all these things. So it's like, I guess you've done something like this before. But yeah, it just, when it first was revealed, I'm like, oh, we have to get rid of this character now. There's no way you could like fix this. And then they fixed it.
That's right. Through a lot of time and maturity and patience.
True.
And blatant disregard for life.
That's what you call it.
Yeah.
Who cares about that part? She shot Sherlock.
What doesn't know can't hurt anyone, right? As long as he doesn't read that hard drive or whatever, it's all good. Yep.
You shouldn't ask a lady about her past, EliteAri. It's not nice, and you'd rather not know anyway.
Yep.
They did literally say that in the next scene. He said it was bad.
He said something. The mistakes of your past are your problem. The mistakes of your future are my privilege, or something like that.
What a simp.
Yep. Very true. All right. Go ahead.
True. More. They're such little boys. Exclamation mark. Oh, this was Sherlock and Mycroft smoking in the front yard, and they both got in trouble, and they both hit it at the same time, EliteAri. Such little boys.
Very true.
Oh, EliteAri, biggest talking point of the whole video. Are you ready for it? Do you know what it is?
No, I don't.
Here be dragons.
Oh.
It's there be dragons, EliteAri. What the fuck was this?
I think this is why whenever I say it, I always quote, here there be dragons. And then you're always like, no, it's actually not that. And I think it probably comes from this, because I obviously saw this before I saw Black Sails.
I did have a crisis, EliteAri. I thought, is it actually here be dragons in Black Sails too? But then I Googled there be dragons and a bunch of pirate stuff came up. So it must be that one.
Yep.
And he was just doing a little twist on it by saying, not there be dragons, here be dragons, because we need you now.
Yeah.
But, you know, obviously Black Sails is pretty cool, EliteAri.
That's
and that was funny.
Excellent.
It turns out the vaults were non-diegetic visuals the whole time, EliteAri. This is the thing I referenced earlier that I nearly brought up, and I was like, oh, this ties into EliteAri.
You know what? I did actually think about that when I was writing my notes on this. It is very clearly not non-diegetic visuals, though, but...
what?
Because the characters...
You think you're seeing a little glasses thing, but that was non-diegetic the whole time. It was just in his mind.
Kind of. But the thing is, the visuals that we're seeing, he's aware of them. Like, he is perceiving the text that is there. Like, it's not non-diegetic in that it is part of what the character is aware of.
Kind of part of the trick, though, is that, like, you think you're literally seeing it, but you're not, because you think it's, like, some Google Glass thing, but it's actually just his mind that looks like it to twist your arm a little bit.
It is. I'd say it's adjacent to non-diegetic visuals, but... I would say it's
So
slightly
what
better.
about the fake outs where Sherlock and Watson stand over here and they simulate what's going to happen if he does this card on the door? Is that a non-diegetic visual?
No, because
Because
the
it's
characters are
just like the
aware of them.
hypothetical playing out.
For something to be
No,
non-diegetic,
but
the characters can't perceive them or even be aware of them. It's impossible.
but it's also like fake and they're not actually seeing it.
But they're
Do we need a new
imagining it.
term for this such thing?
Probably. I mean, I'm sure it's a term.
It's just
for
like
it.
a hypothetical.
Yeah.
But true. So in the Madoka example, it's they don't see the abstraction.
They literally don't. Yeah, they're not even
We-
aware of it.
Yeah.
Like Homero's walking
There's
around
something
this
weird
place.
visually going on that they don't know.
Yeah, like they're looking
that
at someone's
we
face,
see.
and the face is blurred, and they don't even know. It's like they're just talking to them, like they can't even
Oh, is
see the face. Is
dramatic
blurred.
irony a part of this?
Almost
Like
certainly,
it has
yeah.
to be something that the audience is like, oh, watch out, characters, but they don't know.
Well, it'd be a similar thing to like you see a character on screen and then some ominous music plays, and it's like, oh, that ominous music is telling us some dramatic irony here, where it's like there's a villain or something.
It's a non-diegetic cue, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting.
So yes, I think yes, I understand the distinction now. I'm trying to think of another example then.
It's gonna be tough.
Because even when I reacted to your video, I brought up the Quentin Tarantino example of one time in like Pulp Fiction, like a lady does a gesture where she makes a box and like dots follow it like a YouTube video edit. I don't know if that really qualifies because it's just like a editing illustration of her. It's very weird and quirky and like a one-off. It's actually really strange in the movie. It's not used for anything.
What movie is this?
It's in Pulp Fiction, the big one. Okay. Watch it, EliteAri. I'm sure you'll get some views when you review it.
Just to give people context, by the way, we're talking about my latest scripted video on EliteAri. Go watch the Madoka Magica. I don't even know what the title is. There's 3 titles. And just watch my latest video, okay? You'll see what we're talking about. But, yeah.
Okay, EliteAri. I agree with the principle of shilling, just not the principle of giving context, okay?
All right.
They can figure out the context for themselves.
Yeah.
Shilling is okay, though. We allow that. I won't cut that out when I edit this video. You know I edit all the videos.
That's absolutely not true, everyone listening, okay? The great Adobe silence removing thing. That's true. All right.
Turns out, okay, I read that one.
Wait. We gotta take a step back now. What do you think about the reveal here? That the glasses weren't real, that there is a mind palace and there's no like actual thing, and we were being deceived as the audience. What do you actually think about that? Yeah, okay.
Because it's like, oh, Sherlock's done it, so what are you gonna call bullshit on it now, you stupid fuck? And it's like, oh, okay, I guess. And it is like a twist, and it's like him being a step ahead of Sherlock because Sherlock thought it was a physical thing.
Yep.
This guy doesn't seem overly smart, so I guess maybe you could have an issue there. This Mind Palace thing is funny because I don't think I'd ever heard of this concept until I think you commented on Extra Emily remembering all those digits of pi or whatever. I was like, how is this even possible? And you were like, oh, you just do like a step-by-step mind thing or whatever. And obviously you got it from Sherlock. You'd never heard of it before, don't lie.
That's true, yeah. I did get it from Sherlock. Back when I was in high school, I guess in 2013. Yeah.
I was in high school in 2013, EliteAri. And I feel like I've seen it in something else recently too. It's a weird thing where it's like this thing that everybody knows about, you discover it, and then you see it 3 times, and you're like, this thing was invented last week when I found out about it.
That's right.
But this is an old TV show, so this can't be true. So whatever, mind palaces are real.
Absolutely.
It also seems like, because this is actually my next note, it's funny. It says, he doesn't need proof, he's in the press, he'll just print it or whatever.
That's right.
Where it's like, well, that's not really how that works. You have to have like evidence, otherwise people are not going to listen to your press anymore.
Well, not necessarily.
That was kind of funny.
No, I would imagine for people to listen. Well, today, forget the modern age. Okay, we're talking about back in 2014 or whatever. For people to believe you, they have to trust you, right? And for that, you have to have a reputation of truth. So even if he doesn't have proof anymore, as long as at one point initially he did, people will still trust him.
You can have like goodwill you can cash in.
Yeah.
On. The only thing is like, he clearly, like early in the episode, he fakes that he has like physical version of the letters or whatever.
True. Well, he might have physical versions though. Like he said, he has some of them. Like he can request stuff whenever he.
It is true. He could have just destroyed them afterwards.
Yeah.
But it's like, if somebody's gonna print something, usually like even if they don't say like they don't publish the letter or something, they'll say that they've seen the letter.
Yeah.
And like they would need that for them to verify it. So for him not to have anything physically, but I guess he would just have to, when he has it physically before he destroys it, do that proof. I don't know. It felt like you'd probably need more tangible stuff
Probably,
to
yeah.
convince people to have this reputation or something, but whatever, who cares?
Yep.
True. And then my second to last note here, EliteAri, is was there an implication that there's a third brother? What's going on here? Or did I misread this?
There was a line at the end where Mycroft was like, "You know what happened to the other one?"
Yes.
So there is like, I guess
And
there.
I feel
What?
like
Yeah,
that
I
was
guess
one
we're.
other line.
Um.
So you're not allowed to comment on this because the other brother will be shot
No,
up next season. This is
I
epic.
suppose. Yeah, maybe.
Oh, we
So
don't
we'll
say
save
no.
it.
So that was not true.
We'll save
That
the
was my
discussion
trap,
for next time,
EliteAri.
okay?
Oh. This is like when Tony Soprano had another uncle he didn't know about. Everybody knows the great scene I'm referring to here. Very funny, EliteAri.
True.
Now, okay, so I couldn't tell if I was hallucinating that, so that's good. There was something to that. I'm a genius. And then my last note is cute little fake out ending because obviously the song plays for a second and then we do a little digital cut. And then the great Lestage is watching some soccer game somewhere that's lame and boring because we hate soccer here, EliteAri.
Yep.
And then everybody reacts to something on their screen, EliteAri. And it was a little gif of Moriarty and everybody
Did you
freaked
miss
out
me?
and Sherlock
Did
was
you miss
getting
me?
punished, but they had to bring him back.
That's right. An east wind is coming. That's a cool like play.
True, and it's gonna pluck something or something. And then he came down from the east. Pretty funny.
True. Oh my god, the right side of the screen.
Never eat
yeah.
soggy wee pixel, EliteAri.
So what do you think's happening? How did Moriarty survive? Well, I guess first,
Same way
is he
Sherlock did.
alive?
We
Did
don't
he
need to know.
survive? That's the first question.
Yes, they wouldn't tease it for 3 years and then not bring him back. I mean, they could, and that's why everybody hates the great season 4. But he's probably alive.
All right, excellent. And he probably just came back. You said the same way Sherlock did. So it's just somehow, somehow Palpatine returned. Like a similar kind of way.
That was epic, though. No, Palpatine sucks actually, but that movie was epic.
Oh yeah.
Just not that line. Remember when they went adventuring, EliteAri?
Yeah, on this boring sand planet. Yeah.
Yes, underground in the sand planet, like the olden days in Star Wars.
No, remember when they went and saw Poe's girlfriend? That was good stuff. Oh my goodness, on that planet with the brain and everything.
Poe is.
She had a helmet on the whole time.
Oh yeah, no, that was okay. But Bobu Fett or whatever, he was a funny little guy. He was there. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Excellent.
And then Kylo Ren, and they in that Death Star in the ocean. That was pretty cool.
Yep. All right.
So Sherlock shot a dude. We didn't really talk about.
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah. So he, he's a high functioning sociopath, and then he shoots him. But what do you think about that?
True.
Yeah.
True. Oh, and Molly said that her boyfriend wasn't a sociopath, and that's why he was good.
That's right.
But
but they broke up.
And she slapped him a bunch because she's got confidence now, and she'll stand up to him when they're married. It's gonna be great.
Yep. Now I think that's it. There's nothing else.
Do you believe Sherlock could kill a man, EliteAri?
Absolutely, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if he's killed many people in the past, just secretly.
He probably has. One of those ninjas probably died when he him or something.
Probably true, yeah. He probably hit him with a sword when he was saving Iron Adler, right? He spun around and did this cool trick.
Well, he jumped out. Oh, he did kill those guys with a sword, and he probably jumped out of the way of one of those arrows one time, and it hit one of the goons behind him.
True. Yep.
That sucks. Is that murder? No, it's
not if they're foreign country apparently.
This was also self-defense for him to protect his oath to his boyfriend and his wife.
Yes. All right. So, any predictions for the final? Actually, first, just to say, we have a decision to make, which is that do we literally just watch the Christmas special and then talk about it in a week from now, or do we just do all the last 4 episodes together in a batch? What are we thinking?
I assume it's not connected, really, right?
Yeah, I don't want to say it, but it's pretty much a standalone thing. But there's a little.
I'm going to assume the great Moriarty isn't coming back in the Christmas episode, and that'll be saved for season.
The thing is, I don't know if I should. Do you know anything about this Christmas episode?
I know you're always weird when you bring it up, like it's not canon or something.
Okay, God, because let me just say the marketing for everyone knew the premise of this episode going into it. I think it would be interesting for you to watch it without knowing the premise. I probably just won't tell you.
Okay, keep your mouth shut then. Yeah. I don't want to do a whole separate video.
Okay, we'll just do all 4 then in the next discussion.
But 4 fucking episodes! Yeah. Oh, at least when I had finished one, I was like, oh, if I start the second one, then I'll nearly be done. Yep. But when I get to the second one of this one, it's going to be like, you're not even anywhere close to being done.
That's right.
How mentally am I going to overcome this tragedy?
By the sheer quality of the episodes, I'm sure you'll be like, man, this is so great. I just can't wait to watch
the Christmas one is more fun than plot, so I'll like that.
We'll see. It's gonna be interesting. Okay. I'm not gonna.
Larry needs to stop cackling and giving things away. He's done it about 3 times this video.
Yep. Okay.
So, EliteAri, Sherlock is gonna die at the end because what's gonna happen is we're gonna get cucked out of this great Molly relationship. Maybe they're gonna kiss one time in the last episode before he. But he already tried to kill himself, EliteAri. Wouldn't that just be redundant? But then how do we explain we never did any more episodes, EliteAri? It's been 7, 8 years.
True. Well, the actors got very, very
And we're
busy.
not gonna top the ending we could have had with this great wedding. What do you say, EliteAri?
The actors have obviously become very famous since the show finished or whatever. Like since
Yeah,
the
but
show,
they
like,
would have known that. They would have told him, all right, this is the last one, guys. So let's wrap it up. And how do we wrap it up without the great Sherlock dying? He's gonna retire somewhere. He's just gonna come back later. But maybe they will come back later. Maybe it's in the plans. Maybe if I Google Sherlock season 5, it's been in development for the last 4 years.
We'll have to see. Okay, so Sherlock's gonna die. What about John? What's gonna happen with him?
And he's gonna be boring or something. He's got a kid now.
That is true. Apparently, you're gonna have a daughter, right? What do you think the daughter's gonna be named?
Hold on. So, John Watson dying. Let's examine this for a second. Sherlock has to give a speech at a funeral, and it's not something we've done before. And the great Molly will be very sad and have to raise the daughter on her own. And the daughter can be like, "When's my daddy coming home?" And we'll be like, "He was a great man, that John Watson." And Lestrade will put his hand on Sherlock's shoulder and say, "That was really sad, bro." And then Molly will come up behind him and cheer him up a little bit, and they will hold hands as they look over the grave, and it'll be an implication they got together afterwards. And we will never actually get to see it because the show fucking sucks and love is dead, EliteAri. So this seems more likely in my head. But also, is this silly Sherlock show really going to have a sad ending? That would be stupid. And you think I would have heard about it if it did.
Why would you think that? I don't think it's like that.
Because it's
talked about.
I know everything now, except for the premise to the Christmas episode, which everybody knew apparently. Now, no one's gonna die. They're just gonna go back to working hard or something, or maybe Sherlock will do a fake retirement that he can get written out of if we ever have to do any more episodes. Okay.
Excellent.
Lestrade's got to die at some point, EliteAri. It'll be very sad.
Okay, these are interesting predictions. Everyone's dying. What about Mycroft?
To show Moriarty that he means business. Now, Mycroft could be a guy that dies. He could say that he loves Sherlock right before he dies.
Is there anyone you think isn't going to die? Like, for sure. Like, there's no way this person will die.
This wife ain't gonna die. If she was gonna die, she would have already died.
Interesting. Okay.
Sherlock can't be dying. Molly ain't dying, EliteAri. Don't be ridiculous.
Okay.
If you'd stayed silent for one more second, EliteAri, would have freaked out. Now.
Wonderful.
I think we're out of characters. This Irish girl's never coming back, and I'm sad about it.
So, okay, what do you think? Do you think next season will be just like this
one?
This
protege better be back.
Oh yeah, the drug addict guy. True. Okay. What do you think will happen with him? You think he'll be back and he'll die as well, or
he's gonna solve the cases from now on?
I'm sure he will. Who else is there? You think Janine? She's not coming back.
No.
Do you think Molly's boyfriend will come back?
No.
Excellent. Who do you think will write the last episode?
Stephen Moffat, dick in your mouth.
Yes, that's a good one. That's a good one. All right.
Oh my goodness.
Anything else you want to say about
Can I
Sherlock?
watch the Hate Trauma Guy video yet?
You can watch it the second that you finish the last episode, okay? But it will probably taint your opinion. Actually, probably wouldn't. We'll see. We'll talk about that when we get to it, all right?
You do a live reaction.
True, we can actually, because I haven't seen that. We could watch that together or something.
That would be
we'll see.
funny.
We'll see. But that's
great stream it'll be.
That is Sherlock season 3, everyone. Remember, leave a comment, guys. I know you're all listening, all maybe 20 of you this time.
Don't smile because it's over, cry because it's happening.
That's right. And don't forget, if you're watching along with us, we're going to watch the Christmas episode, The Abominable Bride, I think it's called. Or is that a Doctor Who episode? Wait, let me double check that.
Whoa! Whose bride is abominable?
Wait, that actually might be a Doctor Who. Oh, no, yeah, The Abominable Bride is the next episode. And then we're going to watch the 3 in season 4. So see you next time, guys.